I want to start this week with what I usually tell students when we come back from spring break. I say, did you have a good spring break? Anyone go to Florida? How many of you are back from California? How many of us stayed here? You went back to Beijing? Seriously? Anyone go to the Natural History Museum? Yeah, I was there last week with my daughter. However, this year, spring break was different. All of a sudden, every day is Sunday and spring break is forever. Remember the Spanish flu of 1919? Well, now you do. The world as we know it goes belly up in the middle of the semester. Students are sent home. In 1 week, faculty and administrators must learn to do things online they've spent decades trying to avoid. You are stuck with all of your siblings in your parents' house, a million miles from the center of the universe here in New York. Stay where you are. Right now, New York is not the place to be. Those of us who are left in town are holding down the fort. It's getting kind of creepy out there. People are walking around in masks. Fortunately for you, you enrolled in my class, where we carry on working this month just like we did last month. You know what you have to do. Do the reading, make your postings, get your tea and biscuits out and read the digest, follow along with the project page process, be ready for the final. Now then, I've been thinking about how to finish up this semester. There are going to be some tweaks to the engine. We are going to take maximum advantage of community and asynchronicity. Community. I want you to reactivate the news groups. Managers, please get in touch with your members. I don't require you to meet synchronously, but you will need to devise a way for everyone to get their say in sorting out what goes into the final. Email, FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, whatever floats your boat. You know how it works with friends and family. Whatever works for them. Remember, some of you may be in different time zones, so don't wake one another up. There will soon be the equivalent of the online equivalent of the newsgroup form, so get ready. Asynchronicity. Sometimes I think it means you don't need to be listening to me to learn. I teach you by giving you things to do, and you bring us things back from which we can all learn. That's why the tea and biscuits part is so important. You've got to read the digest and digest it. The digest is what the group mind feeds from. Also, in addition to community and asynchronicity, there's a third element to the success of online teaching. Oh yes, nagging. What we miss the most not meeting is not only the news groups, it's the announcements and review part of class, the bit where I get to nag you about what you're doing and what you're not doing and tell you how to do it properly. This is the part I'm trying to replace with these videos, so pay attention. There will be a video every week. Watch the video. Homepage. There are more updates to the homepage than there were before. Check 3 times a week. I'm also updating the forum pics daily. It's been like checking all my little ducklings in again. Some of you have had a long journey home. Forum. I have decided to increase the limit on postings from 10 to 15 before I start to remove them. Remember, after 10 you get no more quantity points, but you still get quality points for postings chosen for the digest. New York City class. The forum. I put a stoplight on all the questions at the top of the page because that's our previous life and that's over now. So our work is from the Al Sharpton question down. There are 3 questions we're still working on from last week. The question of Al Sharpton. New York's other black mayor. Sharpton is like Koch and Giuliani. There's an upside. Keep looking. New York's worst sports franchise. Not trying hard enough, people. There's so much choice. I want epic postings about the Mets, Jets, Rangers and Knicks. If ever there was a topic for the moment, there's no end to the misery. Your quintessential New York movies. Okay, I have nothing against the ones chosen. I would simply note there are no superhero movies, no gangster movies, and no Smurf movies. So get on with it. Okay, there are 3 new questions this week. Question 1, 9/11 and the pandemic. I was thinking, wow, this has never happened to me before. The entire world falls down in the middle of the course. I mean, excuse me? And then I realised this has happened to me before, twice. The first time was the very first course I taught in fall 1989, Introduction to West European Politics. What could go wrong, I thought? This'll be a nice learner for a few years. And then the whole Soviet bloc disintegrated in the middle of the course. The other time was fall 2001 and 9/11. People who lived through both are telling me this is worse. Think about then and think about now. It didn't work out so badly last time around. Question 2 of Yuppies and Hipsters. My argument about gentrification. It was the realtors all along. This is such a great question. Knock yourself out on this one. Find us a good source. And question 3, the Great Brown Tide. My argument about race. New York's politics may revolve around its racial tensions, but New York's economy and culture are spun by the flow of migrants and tourists. Time to go to Queens, the second most diverse place on earth. Project page 2. You get a choice, pick your topic. Elections, gentrification, policing and culture from last time, and 2 new topics, tourism and the new New York public places. Post your sources by Tuesday the 24th at 10 p.m. You know how it works. I pick from the sources. You have to cite from 2 of those sources in your draft. Get your quotes in order. Pick your graphics. Don't forget the sections. I dropped the news groups from project page 2 because I didn't know where you'd be up to after spring break. You get a free choice on this one. Quote from Stein or from one of the links at the bottom of the page. The news groups will return when you have reconnected and we will use them for the final. I agree with you. It's hard to think about the way the world was given the way the world is now. On the other hand, the pandemic will end, even if we have to go through 2 or 3 shorter rounds of social distancing first. It will end as did 9/11, and New York will go on, and doubtless there will be more disaster movies in which the city gets destroyed all over again.